And Jeezy,
JBZ,
leaving the cattle farm.
cattle farm represent.
Yeah. Alright, let's go. Let me take you 5,000 years back when North Africans were doing something whack. They didn't know much about the mentally ill, so into their skulls they would drill. This process was called trepanation, just for your own information. They thought this would release evil spirits from their head. It ended up just making them dead.
Now we are in ancient Greece. The mentally ill were thought to be the chess piece.
The angry gods.
They were most definitely abused. All the tormentors were easily amused.
Now we travel to the late 18th century. Mentally ill were released from the penitentiary. Thanks to scientific research from Vanel and two, the mentally ill weren't considered as kooks.
It was at the time of World War I when shell shock had just begun. Casualties revealed that everyone was vulnerable, like Jim, Bob, and Mr. Vulnerable. Psychological treatment was introduced, and of course the stigma was reduced.
Late 19th century, after Confederation, was the beginning of institutionalization. The mentally ill were stuffed into prison cells. These tight, cramped places would often smell.
The year is 1900 and there are many lunatic houses. Mentally ill were treated like mouses, stuffed in the cage for several days. No one knew how long they would stay. Isolated from their parents, husband and wife. Some of them were there for the rest of their life. They had many treatments back then, all performed by scientific men. For instance, hydrotherapy, also insulin coma and crude psychosurgery. They also used ECT, which stirred up some controversy. They tried to reduce stigma of the mentally ill, got rid of words like idiots, lunatics, and imbecile.
Deinstitutionalization started in 1960. This is when things began to get shifty. They started institutions for 4 reasons. They did this at peak season. First, there was overcrowding and understaffing. After this, nobody was left laughing. Second, studies showed the negative effect. Things like indifference and self-neglect. Third, financial incentives were being presented. The mentally ill had rooms which they had rented.
General Hospital.
Fourth, chlorpromazine stepped onto the scene. Many patients were ever so keen for this antipsychosis medication. These are the reasons for deinstitutionalization.
Lastly, we take you to 1970.
Where community support was needed greatly.
Community mental health services and supports
Was presented everywhere.
even in reports.
It's kept mentally ill in the community.
This kept me safe very easily.
With the end of this verse comes the end of our song. Now don't go and treat the mentally ill wrong.